My chess friends, today is a splendid day and I have a real gem for you, a masterful chess game between the great Magnus Carlsen and Alisher Suleimanov. In this game Alisher made an astonishing sacrifice, offering both his rook and knight. Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Alisher started the game with d4, we have knight f6 c4 e6 knight f3, it is called anti-Nimzo Indian attack, but black chooses to play d6, queen's Indian defense and strike in the center with c5 or d5 in long run, we have a3 to protect it, bishop a6 line ups the bishop on this f1 diagonal, queen c2 and after two moves later Magnus strikes in the center with c5, e4 captured bishop c5. Alex could go with knight b3 to counter the bishop, then play f3 bishop e3 to build a pawn chain and restrict the bishop activity, play castle and be happy, but Alex played simple 2500 rated move. I wonder that how Magnus got defeated by this 2500 rated rat. Magnus complains that he wore a watch in the game which made him lose concentration. What the heck? After couple of moves later we have bishop e2, b5 and e5 are the future moves, so d6 by Magnus to maintain stability in center, castle, and here if you play any natural looking move, let's say queen c7, then white will counter you by knight b5 move, queen slides e5, the pawn is pinned, so after knight h5 he takes d6, this brave Macbeth pawn is well defended, and after knight g5 white is targeting to mate in 1. You may think of playing g6 but it loses the knight on h5, the pawn is freezed, so in this position if you think of capturing the knight then after takes rook here f4, the position is poised to be quite demanding for black, with white putting significant pressure on the king side. You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks, so back to the position, here we have rook to c8 but rook e8 was also available. After 3 moves, Magnus could gone for a knight exchange by playing knight to e5, but he is too attached to his structure and plays knight e7, it opens up the rook file, knight b5, best move for black is to play knight g6 and gives white the knight for bishop, it will damage the king side but after all everything might be fine. But Magnus decided to protect his knight by passivating his piece, for that reason Alex get a chance to play knight g5, attacking to the pawn after playing e5. If someone tries to play h6 then white will sacrifice the knight on f7, takes e5, takes and the queen will be under attack, knight blocks queen h7, this is a very critical position for black. First thing is that bishop h5 check is coming, the king is exposed, rook takes d1 bishop check knight blocks, takes. This is a threat, but the main problem for black is to defend the d6 square, form the knight attack which will lead a high positional damage for black. You don't get a good life or a bad life, you get a life. Good or bad is up to you, so back to the position. Magnus played inaccuracy knight g6 move, e6, great choice by Alex to opening up the diagonals to attack in the king side. The f1 bishop is going to prove himself as a Formula 1 racer car to enter the king place with knight. Capturing the e5 pawn isn't the best because after bishop takes e5, knight c7 rook d7, you will lose the knight on c7. Two things define you, your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything, so d5 by Magnus, queen b3, here h5 or d takes c4, both are the mistake moves. Let me show you the variation, takes queen to h3, threatening this, so after h6 knight takes pawn, takes rook d7 check, king g8 queen takes check, king h7 to protect it, knight d6 to make a turnaround on black's territory, takes bishop to c6, bishop captures c4 to mate in 1 on g8. Knight ups to protect it, but after queen takes knight, position will be totally dead lost as black threatening checkmate on g7. Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grow flowers, not thunder, so back to the position, Magnus decided to play bishop e7, Alex played the right move, knight takes pawn, because after takes, the black position gets folded. If you capture the pawn with the e-pawn, let me show you the variation, white sacrifices the rook on d5, takes, the king has to move back, the king is exposed, so after knight d4, threatening e6 check, knight f4 wouldn't work as black can retreat his queen on f3. Black can't protect his knight and the position will be in white's favor, so in this position, if you play knight c7 to target the queen and protect the square at the same time, then after queen f3 check king slides, knight c6, a very critical move, targeting to the queen and the bishop, queen ups knight takes bishop, and you will lose the queen on b7. Do not be satisfied with the stories that have gone before you. Unfold your own path. So back to the position, Magnus played bishop takes d5, but out Alex, a Stockfish subscriber, played rook takes bishop. If you want to defeat Magnus Carlsen, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Knight c7 is the best move for black, but he takes the rook, and yeah, don't forget to give me a like and comment me a good game topic for my next day video. Knight e6 is coming as I told you, knight c7 doesn't work there, so we have queen to f3. Whatever you lost through fate, be certain that it saved you from pain. So wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon.